So we now see that Hindi commentary has become very popular.
Yeah.
Somebody like you who's always done English commentary, and we hear you. It's a challenge for you to talk in Hindi because normal conversation is either Marathi or English for you. How's that changed the entire scenario with regards to viewership, with regards to the impact it has on the sport?
Tremendously. I think the landscape has completely changed with Hindi commentary and local language commentary. What it has done is that because Hindi is spoken in the major part of India, maybe not so much in the south of India, so many more people tend to tune in and to understand what's going on. They also get to see what the match is happening, and from there, you get to get that Hindi commentary, which actually explains to them sometimes, in detail as to what is happening, what should be done, what it should not be done, tactics, etc. So it's also given a bit of an understanding about the game to so many people. Then, of course, the local language commentary is amazing because, earlier on, the India players, our players playing for India were mainly from the metros.
Yes.
Now with local language commentary, whether it's Malayalam, Kannada, Tamil, now Bhojpuri as well.
Correct.
There are more people coming from the interiors.
Yes.
There is so much of talent in India.
In fact, IPL, if you see, there were two kids who were uncapped players.
Yeah.
One of them getting about 8.5 crores, Samir Rizvi from Meerut. And, that is probably what you are saying. The sport has gone to that level where you have kids coming from Meerut, from interiors of Bihar. And I think that's going to grow now.
It is. What the IPL has done above all is it's made cricket a very, very good career option.
Absolutely.
So with that, you will have more such people coming from the interiors, more talent coming from the interiors, and Indian cricket benefiting from that. So clearly, I think this is wonderful to see that, otherwise, there would be a lot of parents who would say to their kids, okay, you have talent, but you can't get into the Indian team.
Yes.
So don't, focus on studies, focus on their job, whatever it is. Now they're saying if they see talent, they're encouraging the player to go and try his or her luck. Look at the number of our girls coming and doing so well.
Yeah. Unbelievable. Yeah. For the sport. Yeah.
It's been fantastic.
And now there is a problem of plenty. You see, if you're the coach or the captain, you have so many players, even with your main players not playing the recent series. You see, India has done so well. Is it a good problem, or how do you see that?
Problem of plenty is a lot better. See, the problem who to drop is better than who to pick here. That is the important thing. This is a pleasant headache for the selection committees, that they are thinking who should we be leaving out of the team rather than who should we be.
And so there is this question that people have, and we see commentators talking about it, is where you see batsmen, you talk about records, like you were the person who scored the first cricketer to score 10,000 runs, then the maximum centuries, you beat the Don, with all his stats. Probably you're the best person to answer this. Whether you value those milestones or winning the games, if you have to probably, give your take onto this, what should be the mindset of a team, of a cricketer, of a nation, whether the century should be celebrated or the victory.
Anytime, it's always the way the victory should.
And this is coming from you, you're the person who started this, this.
When you score 100, but your team has not won, there's not much satisfaction. Yeah, there is a little bit of, happiness that you've scored some runs.
Yeah.
But the real satisfaction that you get when you've contributed to a team win, that is such an important aspect. You contribute to a team. You might not score 100, you might score a 30. A 30 which is required at the right time. I have a partnership of 60, which say number 9 or 10. Like recently young Jurel did, having a partnership. That is the kind of thing that gives you satisfaction. So he missed 100 that time. He got out. He got out for 99, but he would have been a very happy man. He took India.
Yeah, and I think the 46, his debut inning.
Yes.
that was a special inning because that was again under pressure.
Yeah.
Sometimes those 46 or 30s are more valuable to the victory than for somebody to be celebrating a milestone.
I think milestones are there. I'm not taking anything away from milestones. Yeah. Because the milestones aren't going to contribute to a team win, or maybe in Test cricket to help the team to save a match. Then they're not as satisfaction. They don't give you that much satisfaction as a team win does.
And I know you're a very proud Indian, and you're somebody who would you're the person who wears the flag on his chest. But if I have to ask you, there is a system that some of the countries like England and New Zealand and Australia, they're following. What they're doing is they are differentiating between white ball cricket and red ball cricket. So when you see their teams, suddenly you will have a new player who's just there for white ball, or you have, when you look at the test team, they're solid red ball players. So we in India talk about test match, ODI, T20, but we never talk red ball, white ball. So what I'm trying to say is, do you see merit in the system they have where they're differentiating between various formats? Like, in tennis, if you talk about tennis, you have grass court, you have clay court, you have fast hard courts, you have slower hard courts. And there's a different player for different court. If you're talking about clay court, you'll put your money on Nadal. If you're talking about grass court, you'll put your money on Federer. Even though, at this age, he would have a better chance of winning Wimbledon. We've all known that. Yeah. So do you advocate that? Do you think that is the way forward?
If you look at a lot of our Indian teams, I think the players who are playing all three formats, there are players who are capable of playing all three formats. So they have to be picked. But you will notice that there are some specialists in the test cricket, there are specialists in white ball. So we are also doing pretty much the same. At the end of the day, the balance of the team is important. It doesn't matter if there's somebody who's playing all three formats.
And, you're right. There are three format players, and then you have specialists like, somebody like a Pujara would walk into a test side, and somebody like, Hardik would be no-brainer for your white ball cricket. Yes. Because he's an all-rounder. He'll give you the bowling option. He will bat for you. He will hit those sixes also. But I'm saying having a system in place where, we see kids playing here, and now, when you were playing, and I remember, those days when your coaches would shout at you if you'd hit the ball in the air, right? And I've had this conversation with you only so many times. Yeah. And now when you see people, something like a Surya Kumar, he's hitting like this, he's, bending and hitting like this. So how do you expect somebody to play like that and play test match?
Well, I think it's a matter of the mindset. Mindset has to change. Your bat speed changes as well. For the white ball game, there is, as a batter, it's much harder pushing at the ball. For test matches, it's a little bit softer and that's a mindset. So if you can do that adjustment, and you see, when you see, our batters like Rohit Sharma, Kohli, doing that, it's a mindset, and that's why they are such wonderful players in all three formats of the game.
So this thing came to my mind, when we talk about the money that has come in the sport through IPL, which is very good. You've been following, you are the sport. Cricket is what it is because of the contribution that was made in 80s and 90s, and you've been instrumental. A lot of money has come because of IPL, and we see that, which is good for the sport, and we see the sport growing. But also what we are seeing is, the amount of money that a young cricketer is earning in his first year, uncapped cricketers like Sameer Rizvi, and all these kids, they need somebody, they need a mentor in their life, not just to manage the cricket part. The coach can do that. Yeah. But they all need one person who can manage, all this, the fame that comes, the fortune that comes. And we see that, we see there are some talented cricketers who miss out, because that's the link that is missing. I think we need a system in place where there's somebody who's guiding them.
Yes, absolutely. I totally agree with you. Because it is easy for not just tier 2 and 3 or whatever, even for players from the major cities to get carried away by the name and the fame and the wealth that they get. Absolutely. And that can distract them from being good cricketers, because India has lost, and I'm not going to take names, India has lost. There's a couple of very, very talented cricketers who just lost their way because they forgot the basics, who they were and why they were there. Like they were there because they were good at cricket. They were, they forgot it, and they just went, the different directions. So mentorship is absolutely crucial, very, very crucial. And I do hope that
some system is in place for all these young talented cricketers.
Every state association, they should decide. They will always have somebody in their state who has been a top sports person, not necessarily a top cricketer, who's gone through the ups and downs in life, ups and downs in sports as well, and therefore he will be best able to guide all the youngsters.
Yeah, because you realize that there are ups and downs in any sport, in any career for that matter, and you need. That is a time when the cricketer needs support. That is a time when it's more mental. It's not about the skill. These kids are talented. There is so much talent in the country today, but they need that support when they're when they're down, when they're low. And just talking about superstitions, we lost a World Cup, and everybody was doing whatever they were doing. I'm sure you would have your superstition. So, what was your superstition?
My superstition was wearing something new on the day I expected to bat. So not necessarily on the ground.
Yeah.
It could be maybe wearing a new track pants when I went to the ground, or wearing a new wristband, or maybe just wearing a new shirt going to the ground. New pair of socks, something like that.
So that was necessary.
Yes, and I would carry 5 new things for every test match, because if you won the toss, you batted one day. Maybe you lost the toss and you were fielding, but you didn't know that. So now that has become old.
Yes,
whatever I wore. So next day, if I've got to wear something, so I'm expecting to bat, then I bat second day. I'm maybe batting on third day. Then on the fourth day, the other team bats, and they put you into bat at the end of the fourth day. So 4 days, and so 5 new things.
So there's this World Cup story that while Kapil Paji was batting, and
175.
Yeah. So tell us about that.
Well, I think Srikanth, coming from Chennai and I coming from Mumbai, we feel the cold very quickly. Any temperature that goes below 25 degrees, we feel, There we were at Tunbridge Wells. The wind was very severe.
It was a cold day.
Cold, and we had lost wickets, and Kapil had been batting. Kapil started batting really well, and Chika was out in the cold, and he wanted to go for a pee. And the manager, Man Singh, said, no, you're not going for a pee till the innings is completed. So you could just imagine in the cold, and Chika was just trying to stand like this and stand like this, trying to control.
Poor guy. Amazing, and Paji scored really well, and that was a crucial inning. Yeah.
So, Chika always said, look, I had a contribution as well to Kapil scoring 171.
I think people have those stories, they will go on forever. So it's always a pleasure talking to you, and it's something, listening to you. I've been listening to you for decades now, and to conclude, man to nahi kar raha ki stop karo conversation, but because of shortage of time, thank you very much, sir. Always a pleasure.
Always pleasure for me too. Thank you.
Thank you.